Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Resore, the Journal 5 Questions. We're excited to have B. Shapiro with us today, the founder of Ellis Brooklyn. I'm going to jump straight into the first question. What is a typical day in the life of B. Shapiro?
Oh my goodness. I feel like this is like there's the ideal day and then there's the Monday to start the
Yeah.
week. So I'm going to give you the Monday, which is the
Yeah.
unedited. It's called hitting snooze about 5 times. I set my snooze
Oh,
extra early just so that I can hit it a few times. And then I do try to get in the shower before the kids wake up because I found that if I don't do that, then I'm going to look disheveled for the rest of the day. So I try to fit in a quick shower just to wake myself up in the morning. I'm big on like just letting that water hit you and just having that moment. I love a milky cleanser in the morning. I just feel like it sort of rebalances everything. And then, of course, I think about scent when I'm in the shower, whether it's my shampoo products or whether it's my body wash. I just feel like I like to layer scents and I really kind of start in the shower with that whole moment. And then I come out, I do a little bit of light makeup. I'm one of those girls that don't leave the house without something on.
yeah.
I feel like I used to be much more effortless in my 20s, and now I'm 41. So I feel like I have to have something on now.
Yes.
I just have to do an eyebrow, a little mascara, some sort of tinted SPF. And I have to do that. Maybe a little blush, when I'm feeling very ambitious for the day. And then I start the day. I used to be one of those girls that like never drank coffee. And then I got this Ninja coffee maker, and now I'm a coffee fiend. So that's like my next move. And then I get my kids up. Getting them ready for school. I have two girls, 8 and 6, do the whole school drop off. And then I actually like to work from home for the first like few hours. I would say like a first like 3 hours when it's like so peaceful at home with like no children.
Yeah.
And then I start to go to meetings. I'm in the city a lot or I have appointments and I do kind of all that like either late morning or I do it in the afternoon. And I try to fit in a workout. I am of the school. I used to be such a crazy workout girl. I used to be like Soul Cycle and then this crazy boxing class and all this stuff. And now I just do 30 minutes of something,
Yeah.
which is funny. Right, which is funny because it's actually crazy effective. I started this during COVID because in lockdown we watch all those videos on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually think they work really well. So I would do like a 20-minute or 30-minute whatever workout on YouTube. It could be anything. It could be weights, it could be ballet bar, it could be squats. I mean, it literally can be anything.
Yeah.
Or I'll run outside for 30 minutes or something like that. So that's kind of my day. It's not like crazy exciting. And then I go, my nanny will pick up the kids, we'll have activities. I try to make it to one of their practices maybe. And then it's dinner and then it's over. So that's pretty much it for me.
No, it's a great process. That way you feel like you've had family time, you've
Work.
had, concentrate on your work and then your you time as well. So I think it's a great way to spend your day.
I
Yeah.
love that 30-minute too of doing something, some exercise, because as well as a parent, you have to be able to fit something in, and 30 minutes is actually realistic that you can.
Yes.
You feel like 30 minutes is not too much, right? I used to be that girl who worked out for an hour,
Yeah.
hour, 30 minutes. I was like a crazy yoga girl. And I did, boxing and Soul Cycle. And I have to tell you, 30 minutes is kind of all you need.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm not running a marathon anytime soon. So it's okay,
Neither am I. So you must tell us, what part of Alice Brooklyn takes up most of your time and attention?
Oh my gosh. So sadly, it is not my favorite parts. My favorite parts are the product development. So, like the scent development. I would say I get to do that maybe just like an hour a day max. And then the rest of the time, I've started to realize is really about working with your team, which has been very interesting because when I first started Ellis Brooklyn, I had no team really. I was like a team of one, then I was a team of two. And now we're a little team of five. And then we have these agencies we work with. So it's been very interesting just learning how to best motivate your team, but also just make sure everybody's aligned for whatever program we're doing, which has been interesting. So like today on a Monday, I have my touch base calls with all my senior staff, and then we go over, whatever it is in each vertical. So whether it's sales or e-com. So that's actually what I end up spending most of my day on.
Yeah, they're all very important, very important. And I was wanting to ask, having had so many beauty brands land on your desk to review as a beauty columnist for New York Times, have you ever noticed a formula for creating a successful brand?
I don't know if it's a formula, but I definitely think there's commonalities. So one, I think, this was off the record earlier. I honestly think all us founders are insane. And I think I think we've lost it and was like, you know what? In the sea of super crowded beauty products, we have decided to make our own. And this is why, and I think that all the founders that I know that I admire, I would say they just have a singular conviction. And I joke because I'm obsessed with scent. I always have been. And it's like this, I can't turn it off. It's not like I can just turn it off and be like, I can't smell that, right? Like I really have always been able to smell like a lot, whether it's good or bad. And so I think it's the singular obsession, but also conviction that you can do something. and I think that's a huge common thread. And then on top of that is I really do think that this role as a founder, but also as a business person, is a super unique blend of both being creative, but also business savvy. And I think every founder that I've met has had both. Whereas I think in fashion, sometimes you just get a crazy creative, right? Like sometimes you just think about like an Alexander McQueen or somebody like that. You just get a crazy creative. I think most of the beauty founders I know have both. Like they're able to go see, whatever it is that is their special niche really, really clearly, but they're also able to translate that for their customer.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're
true.
insane. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I love that. That's wonderful. So, as it's your favorite thing, when you develop a new product, you make it very personal to who you are and what you want. Can you tell us about your process in bringing a product to life and it will be ready to launch?
I think starting a product can be really daunting because I've had days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out over XYZ that I feel blank. And then you'll go away on a trip or a vacation, you'll come back renewed, and you're like, oh, I have all these ideas now. So it's happened a few times now because we've been around for a few years that I've started to realize that in order to be creative, I actually have to protect my time more, whether that's going on a 1-day vacation or whether that's like not doing too many meetings in one day. And so I think in the early days, I would just flounder. I would just be like, oh my gosh, I'm product creating today. What do I do? What do I do? And so now for Labor Day weekend in the US, we went to Seattle. And at first I was really stressed out. I'm from Seattle and it was really great to see my family, but I was like, oh my gosh, we have to get back for school and all that. Actually, it was amazing. It was wonderful because I got out of my zone and I came back like energized. And so I think that's the first step, which is kind of a weird first step, right? Is to like carve out time for yourself just to have your mind have this breathing room. And then you can go and you can be addressing all the creative aspects. So when I work on scent, I'm working with a master perfumer and I'm working with somebody on their side that works with a master perfumer on the scent. So it's called an evaluator. And so I'm not just working with a singular person, I'm working with another artist, but also this person, another evaluator that sort of just makes sure everything comes together, whether it's by compliance or whether it's by the scent creation or whatever that process is. So I have to come to the table with a really clear vision of what I want, because if I don't, I'm not going to get what I want out of it. So after I take this time, like a little bit of time for myself, I then will really fine tune what it is I'm looking for. With perfumers I worked with a few times before, they actually know the brand, they know our scent signature. And so it's a lot easier because I can just throw an idea out there. But I do need to be very detailed because otherwise it's too hard to work with another creative and be like, oh, I think I want this, or oh, I think I want that. When in fact, that doesn't help anyone when you're kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And so that is the next step. And then we go back and forth on different scent modifications, we call them, or mods. And that's really the creative process of creating a scent. But I really think I definitely didn't do it in the beginning of the journey of Ellis Brooklyn. It was taking that original, like, early time. And I used to flounder a lot more when I was scent creating because of that.
That's really important takeaways. Like, I find I've just recently learned to find that stillness and stepping back from the hustle and bustle can open your mind and be really creative. So I love that, how you get away and just do that. I think I'm going to take that on board more. More holidays. More holidays.
That's right. More 3-day weekends.
Yeah. Because you as a business owner, you feel guilty about taking a break, but those breaks actually improve, the business, because you can come back and you can be inspired, you can be focused, you sort of know what you want. So it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not easy, right? I think the problem with running a business too is, like, we're all hands on deck, and then to suddenly be like, wait a second, I need some quiet time to, manifest creative energy. Sounds funny,
It does. It's not what the society's telling us. It's always that go.
Right. Right.
I think we've got the last question. We've got the last question, B.
So, B, you love to plan. So what is a plan the next 12 months, personally and professionally?
What's so funny is I love to plan, but I'm actually working on I work with a life coach for several years now, and it sounds super hokey, but actually it's been amazing. I was very skeptical. Another entrepreneur founder referred me to her, and at first I was like, I don't know, this life coach thing, it sounds really trendy. I don't know. Anyways, long story short is I found out that I'm such a planner that I overplan. I'm that person who has like a plan of a plan of a plan. Which is good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a good friend to have, because if concert A is not happening, then we can go to concert B, I'm that person. And it's so crazy. So I've actually tried to pull back a little bit on my planning, in the sense that, of course, I have product development. So we're launching a new scent for spring that I'm super excited about. That's very feminine. And typically most of our scents sort of live more in that middle of the gender spectrum. And this one is like all the way over, which I'm excited about. Just because I think that sometimes that all the way over gets ignored, right? It gets dismissed as like too frilly or not cool or whatever. So I'm super excited about that. But I think in general, yes, I am planning like a product pipeline, but I'm less so like, oh my gosh, Ellis Brooklyn in 3 years has to be XYZ. More that I think I actually understand the brand more, in that it has its own personality and life. So for example, I'm 41. We have a very strong social media team, and we're strong on TikTok, and I like TikTok. And I'm not sure like that was something I ever envisioned Ellis Brooklyn to be, like a brand that's like strong and super active on TikTok. And you realize, wow, a brand has a life of its own. So I'm really trying to like look at the product pipeline, but also respect like who our customer is. Because I think that when I first started Ellis Brooklyn, I had a plan, like, this is my customer, this is the thing. And you have to have that, right, in your business plan or whatever. But actually, as it grows, it's like a child, right? Like, you're like, oh wow, I had no idea it's gonna go in that direction, And so I am planning on the product pipeline, but more planning around what the brand is today, as opposed to like before I plan around like what I wanted it to be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's like, just being fluid with the plan.
Yes. And it really takes on a life of its own. It's super interesting. I mean, you guys know this with, like, who knew, and this is how it expresses itself.
Yeah, it's an amazing process to watch. And yeah, you do. It's always learnings and being adaptable. Yeah. And no, it's a really amazing
And that's the exciting part to it as well.
Yes, it is. It is exciting. Once I kind of took a look, I'm still a planner, but I still am. It's just I haven't planned it out. I'm not trying to force anything into a box anymore, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Just the other week, have you heard of the social media platform Be Real?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's a newer social media platform called Be Real. We hosted this cake baking class at Milk Bar to celebrate our newest scent, vanilla milk. And Be Real, the way it works is every day you'll get a notification on your phone to say you have to post your Be Real. And your Be Real is a photo front facing and a photo facing. So both cameras are on at the same time. So facing front and facing back. And supposedly it's supposed to catch you mid any moment. And so it's real, like a Be Real photo. And so it was in the middle of this class. I was like, who's on Be Real? And the only people on Be Real were like really young editors or interns. And so I was like, oh my gosh, we have to take a picture or whatever. But that's just part of become what Ellis Brooklyn has been. Like, we're super innovative on certain things, including trying out a bunch of different platforms. Did I ever think that this was going to be the brand? No, I thought we were going to be a department store brand.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, yeah, it takes on a life of its own, literally.
Oh no, well, it's an amazing brand and you're so talented, and thank you for all you've created for the world. We're loving all your scents. So keep
we're wearing it
sniffing and
now.
smelling and and
thank you so much. And I love your guys' products too. I feel like between like amazing scents and like the best bath towels in the world, then we can be really cozy for the rest of 2022.
Exactly. We definitely, that would be a beautiful way. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so
sure.
much, B. We so appreciate your time.
Thanks, B.
Thanks for having me. Bye.